Hey y'all, I am having some technical issues, so I think you're just not going to see my beautiful face today, but I'll be getting started in just a second. Okay, so, let me see, I'm clipping a little bit here. How's that? Better levels, that looks good. Okay, awesome. One more thing I gotta figure out. Okay, so today, I thought maybe I'm not going to work on the same thing I have been working on, and instead, oof, now my pen settings are all wacky. Sorry, we had some changes in the studio, so I'm just trying to figure out what everything means. Okay, that might work better for me. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Today I thought we might just, it's the end of the semester. I thought it might be fun to just hang out, and maybe we'll make a little robot, cute little robot fella. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm going for like a kind of a classic, like, I don't know, like retro 50s sci-fi thing. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna build it out. I think actually this our default cube would make a great head. I'm gonna change it a little bit and just narrow it in. We're gonna have to go back in and build in some loop cuts and stuff like that, but we can do that in a little bit. Like that. Tab, Command R to start some loop cuts. Right in the middle, and we can do our adjuster here. Set that to 2. We'll do another loop cut. Right here on the side. Set that to 2. Beautiful. We'll come in from underneath. 3 to select faces, and we will extrude you on down in the little neck here. And I'm going to extrude it one more time, about like that. And we're going to scale it out. I will start to give them a little body. Bring that down like this. Maybe something like that. It's kind of a fun little shape. I think actually I'm gonna scale. How are we gonna do this? This is a little wider than I think I want it to be. So let's go shift. Oh no, escape. Wow, shift space B. Sorry, my brain is so fried this week. One second, I'm just gonna check in with our mod and make sure I'm actually streaming. Maybe I can just select these faces. These faces. Let's see what happens if we... Whoa. No. Just squeeze you in a little bit. That's fun. And we're gonna have to do some stuff to make that so it will render better, but for now I'm just gonna keep building. So we'll go tab back into object mode, Shift A, and we're gonna add a cylinder. 32 vertices is fine, but we're gonna make that real skinny. Seems pretty good. Location, move it up on the Z. Looks about right, maybe a little too deep. Cool, cool. Deselect that. Add another cube. S to scale. That kind of thin. Bring that up. Cool. And I think I want to put them on some wheels. So we're gonna Shift A, mesh, add a cylinder. The radius might be fine, but it's gonna be way too deep for a wheel, so go like that. And rotate along the nope, this position. Rotate along the X until we get to 90. It's harder to do that with the touchpad. I was actually not going to do the touchpad today, but I forgot to set it up so that I didn't need a touchpad. Okay, and he's just gonna, let's add, we're in object mode. I'm gonna go over here as modifiers. I'm gonna add an array modifier and move it along the Y, nope, not along the Y-axis. It should be the Y-axis though. Is this offset or something? Okay, well, just kind of eyeball where the middle is there. That looks about right, and set the count to 2. Put this to 0, so everything's nice and in line. And that's kind of like, that's like the bones of our little robot fellow. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come in here and even though we want these rigid like corners, like I like those sharp corners, I still am gonna want, I'm still gonna want to end up smoothing this. So the trick to when you want something smooth but you still want kind of hard edges, maybe not like perfectly sharp, crisp edges, is gonna be, you know it, you love it, the loop cut tool. So going back into edit mode, Shift Space, Command R, and these are going to be called holding edges that I'm about to put on. Basically, it'll just let us hold that form. So get really up and close the edge. I'm just going to do 2 of them. And we're going to do that down here too. That way, and I'll demonstrate why this works. I'll get some over here. It's really close to that edge. We don't want to like, and we don't want to subdivide the crap out of this mesh. Which I mean, you could do. You could just like turn on subdivisions and turn it up to the max, and that'll still do this. But this way, we still have pretty low poly throughout this area, but we get those nice holding edges. So then, if we go back, here and we like right click, we go shade smooth. You see, we still have these nice crisp edges here, and the places where we didn't put those holding edges, we get this weird kind of like lumpy deformity effect, which doesn't look good, doesn't look like a cool 50s robot. So I can right click again, go to shade flat. We want it to be close to that, but not quite. So I'm gonna go back in here. And I'm going to go to edit mode. I do want some holding edges to go right by that neck, so I'll go here. And same thing. It's a little tedious, but I find it almost like therapeutic. I don't know. Just so he doesn't have like a weird human neck on top of this robot body. It would be a good like Philip K. Dick novel, but that's not what we're going for today. Back that up. Drag down. Nice. And these ones are going to apply to a bunch of the body. You don't have to be perfect about this. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just doing my holding edges. Okay, I think most of that's pretty good. And now I can tab out to see if I missed anything. Shade smooth. And that looks pretty good. Right? We get these like rounded edges that they don't look like they're gonna like cut you, but they just a little bit, just like subtleties. It's all about the subtleties. And I probably need to add some down here. This might be a little too soft. So we'll go down to you. Here. And I think what I'm going to do in here is shift space B. I want to select vertices. I'm going to give it like just a little bit of a like a point or something on the chest, like a, just to make it a little more, look cool, a little dynamic. So 1 to select vertices, just these ones. Let's just see what happens when we like. It's kind of cool. Maybe I want to go the other way. Yeah, that's nice. Cool, shiny little robot body. And this is probably fine. We can probably just shade this smooth. And if we shade that smooth, you end up with like a weird cylinder. Looks bad. Shade flat. We'll go in here. Oh, gotta be in edit mode. Shift space, Command R. Nice. Actually, I think with this one, I do want it probably underneath where, because there's some overlap here, there's like a little bit of, you can see how the shading gets a little funny because it is rounding. So we're gonna do it again. It's tedious, but it is over quick. On the wheels, I have an array modifier, so I only need to do this to 1, and then we'll apply that array modifier. Shift space, Command, no. Tab, Shift space, Command R. Put it over here. And for these, I'm gonna select the faces, and we're gonna go to this guy over here, and let us do inset faces. I do it right. There we go. You just do that a couple times. The only really important one is the one right next to that holding edge. Great. So then we can shade smooth, go to that modifier, go to apply. And now there's not a modifier, it's actually just one object. We got the bones of our robot. Just for fun, let's say, I'm gonna go back in and give him arms, but just because it starts to make it look like a real thing, we'll go here. And we've got this kind of paper white look. We want to give him a material, so let's go, so it's like a red. Really kind of maybe like an orangey red. Down a little bit. Metallic, like all the way up. Super shiny. See, that's, so the roughness is going to make it super shiny. We don't want that, because that looks kind of goofy. But this will give us like if you go roughness all the way up, you'll get this kind of matte look, which we also don't want. Down here where it's like just starting to like show the reflections of the environment. Looks good to me. Give this a surface, new. And I think like just like a light gray. This one can use that, and the wheels I'm gonna give another new material to. We're gonna make this just like almost black. That's really high. Cool. Bones of our little robot character. That might actually be, this is more shiny than I want it to be. A little rougher. Cool. That's fun. Let's give him some arms. Might be a little long. Just scale it down that way. Still might be a little long because, I mean, they're gonna be like weird stubby arms, but I'm gonna add another joint to it so we can view it from the side here. We'll go Shift D to duplicate, Z to lock it on the Z axis. That looks good. We can go Shift A. I'm gonna add in Shift A, add in a cylinder. Rotate that. Come on, 90. 90 degrees up here, out here. We'll go Shift Space S. We'll scale that whole thing down. Space G. And a little smaller. Cool. Not gonna worry about hands right now. I just wanted to kind of go through this real quick. So, going to select. I'll grab all of these. We'll look at it from the front. Shift D on the Y axis. It's just about, doesn't need to be perfect. I like it. Okay. Individually, we just gotta give these limbs the same material. Give this the kind of roller joints, whatever this is. Give these the same material as that sort of little stand that he's on. Cool, now we got a cute little robot with some stubby little arms. Maybe I should make him a little longer. Delete you. and I'm going to scale you about halfway. Looks good to me. And since I'm going to join this material, you see now that loop cut thing I did, you have this kind of rounded corner. We don't have that over here, so guess what? Got to do the same thing. Shift space, Command R. Real quick on either side. Should do the trick. Nice, okay. It's smooth. It's smooth. Man. Okay, a little tedious. Inset faces. Okay, I like that. Shift D, put it a little along the Y-axis. And do that because I wasn't looking in the right view. Shift D, Y. Sick. Okay, fun little robot. Only took us half an hour. It's a little longer than it should have taken me, but I'm doing it live. So now, what I want to do is add an armature so that we can animate this fellow. If you want to do, once you've made a character and you want to do anything with it, whether that's animate it right within Blender, which is really fun, or if you want to do something like maybe this is a character in a video game that we're making. Because we work for the VR lab at DH Hill, and we do all sorts of things like make video games. You could bring this character into Unity, you could bring it into Unreal Engine, which with a very low texture character like this, you'd be vastly underutilizing Unreal Engine, but that's fine. You're welcome to do that because it's a super cool program. But whatever you want to do with it, if you want to animate it in any way for a player to control or for a short film or a game, you're going to have to rig it. I'm not an expert at rigging, but I am okay enough to get started with it and to kind of show you the basics. There's some things I am not good at that I'm going to skip for today, like constraints. Which will make it so like, oh, this limb can't move in a way that doesn't make sense, or You can, with the armature tool, you can add handles that make it really easy to manipulate. I am not great at that because I've only done rigging a couple of times. We're just going to give this guy a really basic skeleton. So Shift A when we're in object mode. Oh, you know what I want to do first? I want to get all those things selected because these are all separate objects. I'm going to join it. So now we just have, you see that over here. We just have one big object now. And then I want to Control A and apply all transforms. And it's kind of hard to explain what that does, but basically, like when you add a cube, say just like add mesh, we'll add a sphere. It thinks this is at coordinates 0, 0, 0, 0x, 0y, 0z. And if I take it and I put it over here, it is using that location like a modifier, like the array modifier that I did for the wheels. So Blender thinks this is at 0, 0 still, but it's going to remember to show it. It's like, oh, I'm applying a location modifier, so I'm showing it over here. And when you do that, Control A, apply, so it's going to all your location, your rotation, your scale. You apply all those things, then it says, oh no, it's actually over here. So that just that it's just going to make it easier to animate. Things are going to get less clunky. If you do any like UV stuff, that's not going to get messed up as often. So here's our little robot, and we're going to add an armature. So there's lots of add-ons and stuff like that, so you can have like a pre-built human. But we aren't going to use that. We're just going to build one from scratch. So if you go over here to the bones, viewport display, I'll go armature, viewport display. In front, it'll always show that armature on top of whatever mesh. So we can move that up. I don't really need to do anything with the wheels, I don't think. So I'm not gonna bother animating them to move, so again, hit Z to lock that. Actually, I should go front view, but that looks pretty good. This doesn't need to be very complicated at all. Right up to the base of the neck. Go one more going through the neck. And again, we're just locking all of these on the Z. Extrude, Z. I'll go back here. And I'll do one over to shoulder. One that goes all the way through here. Remember to lock on. Remember to lock on Z. Zoom in on you. The reason I'm adding more bones in this joint is because all of these are gonna kind of deform. They're gonna deform the mesh around them when, say, I move his arm or whatever. So and there's things you can do to combat that. You can do weight painting, which I'm not super familiar with, but you can. But adding those extra joints is gonna just help that from prevent that from screwing up too much other stuff. Here, and we'll extrude in the other direction. E to you. Zoom in. Keep doing that. I'm not sure how. E along Z. E along Z. Great, now we've got a little robot. We can start animating. So I'm gonna go back into, see, I think what I wanna be in, I got the object mode. Select both of these and then right click, go to, I think, parent, yeah, armature deform with automatic weights. Then we can go into, should be able to go into pose mode. And if I did everything right, which I don't always do, if I did everything right. No, what did I do wrong? Swear to God, this worked last night. This is my curse of doing it perfectly well at home and then showing up to work to do it live and not doing it right. Ah, there we go. Okay, beautiful. I'm not sure what I did differently. Something to do with how I parented those objects. I think maybe I selected them in the wrong order. But great, so this is fun. So you can see now how it's sort of cartoonish, and this is where that weight painting comes into play, is that like I turn this head and it doesn't maintain like the integrity of the textures, but we're just gonna lean into it, and that's just gonna be how this little person is. Goofy. Okay. So one thing we can do is select all this stuff. We'll rotate forward and then we'll select these arms. And I'll rotate them. So it's like oh, like he's running forward and leans forward with his arms flailing behind. And we can go to how do we do this? Pose library. I can save that as a pose. We should be able to bring that back. I must have rotated him to the side a little bit. Let's go. Front view, see if he is rotated to the side a little bit. Front view. Not too bad, it's just a little wonky. Sure. So add new. Call this one standing. I think that's how this works. I haven't really done this part yet. I mostly just finally figured out how to do armatures last night, and I was like, oh boy, let's make a robot tomorrow. That seemed easy. So we're kind of butting up against what I know how to do already with armatures. Oh, was I... Okay, I think in making the other one, I undid my running pose. Cool. So now I'll go plus. Add new. We'll go to that pose. Go R. Control will help us keep it in check. These are, and then back into place. Neat. So now I think. Huh. Well, I don't have real access to sound right now. We moved our desktop, so our only sound output is a little farther away. That's why I'm not wearing my headphones. The music you were listening to is just for you. I hear a little bit of a hi-hat every now and then, but without knowing exactly what I'm doing wrong here, it's difficult for me to say what it is. So maybe I'm going to save this robot. I can find it. Oh, and because it's a new desktop, I don't have our fun city that we made last week. Well, time to start a new Blender folder. Thanks, Mod. I meant that I am unable to listen to the headphones that we have in the streaming room, but they're plugged in so that you, kind viewers at home, can listen to music. I'm just, you know, I'm doing it for the people. Call you robot.blend. Save Blender file. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take 5. I'm gonna grab some water real quick, and we will be right back. Maybe I'll, since I can't fully animate this robot right now, maybe we'll just build a little, maybe like a factory for him to exist in. So we'll do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, mic is back on. I'm not going to keep doing that. What I was just saying is, I think what I'm going to do is we can maybe kind of give a little bit of an environment, give it some color to kind of make this person fit in somewhere, and then maybe we'll give him a buddy. And when we eventually move this into, maybe next semester, we'll move this into Unity, and we can make it like a racing game or something. I don't know. Let's give this guy a buddy, give him an environment. We'll set up some color in the background, and then we'll start bringing it to life. So let's go get off of armature, get out of pose mode, object mode. Hide that armature. So one thing we can play around with is some lighting stuff. If we go to this world, we can change the color of the background. Let's make it something brighter blue. It's kind of fun. Maybe not exactly what I want though. Let's go a little grayer. Like a little fluorescent looking. I don't like that either. Go warm. Sure, why not? Let's give it a plane. Zoom way out. And we'll S. Scale like that. Let's move this light. But we can give it, we can make this light something different. Let's go to the light, make it a sun. That's pretty bright. Give it like a pale blue, turn it way down. Let's try 400. Still too bright. 200. Still too bright. Let's try 50. Let's try 12. Okay, it's not too bad. We're going to want to diversify our lighting sources, but we can do that in a minute. This is going to be like a factory gray. Yeah, you like that. Oh boy, the shadows are looking kind of wonky, so we can go into, get some here, shadows. I don't know, hard shadows might not be good either. Maybe once we add some more light, so let's duplicate our sun, change its angle to something like that. We're going to make it even weaker. 5. Make it bluer. There. Now our lighting's a little more dynamic on our little robot fellow. And we go to filter. How do we lock you in place? This will do it. So we can make that. We can take that plane and make it not selectable. So that this little filters icon over here, that's no longer selectable. And in fact, I'm going to do that with my lights too, because I just don't want to accidentally grab them. This camera I can delete for now. Great. So there's a little fellow in a little environment. Scooch him over here. Oh no, I broke something. Is the armature needs to be done. Ready to move? Yeah, now you're fine. Okay, give him a buddy. I think maybe maybe like a big dude, like a big circle person. Maybe like a an orb with a okay, wait, here's my idea. Dude is a big ball with like a tire around the outside and two little arms on the sides of the orb. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. So let's Shift A, mesh. We're gonna make a circle this time. Radius, real big, like that. And let's rotate it along X to 90. And location Z up like that. It's going to be a large person. Maybe we can scale it back down. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to extrude. No, we gotta select it, tab. I'm going to extrude. No. Oh, I'm selecting faces. So 2 and E. Yeah, just like that. Extrude along the Y-axis. Get like a big old tire. That's fun. And then a modifier we can use to make this have some depth is the solidify. Thickness. Sure. It's like a hardy looking tire. Cool. Then I'm gonna just so I'll apply it. Exit edit mode. Apply. And then when we go back, we have a full fleshed out model. So then I'm going to go Shift S, and I'm going to bring my cursor to, and I'm going to go A, then Shift S. So A is going to select every, in this case we're selecting lines, so it's going to select every line. Then we're going to go cursive to selected. That'll bring it right up into the middle of the object that we have selected, which is cool, because then when we start adding stuff to the middle, like this sphere, it just pops up right where we want it. And we can go radius. I don't know if this person is going to make any sense, but it's just, it is what it is. Get it nice and close. Look at that. Easy as pie. Okay. And then we can go back here. I wonder if I shade smooth, is it gonna be... Yeah, look at that. Pretty smooth looking circle. Probably don't even need to subdivide that. I will need to subdivide that tire, but we can do that in a minute. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go shift right click, bring the cursor right to the outside there, and shift A, mesh, cube. Make that thin. This fella's big, so we'll give him big little arms. This might be too big. Sure. Add our cylinder. Rotate it on X to be 90. And then increase the radius a bit. Increase the depth. That looks kind of in the ballpark. Yeah, sure, why not? Close enough. So there's our giant orb robot. And let's start doing some loop cuts. Space, Command R. I don't know if... Yeah, okay, cool, we can do this. Some loop cuts, this sphere... Have to select faces, get lined up here. We're gonna select maybe with the lasso. Didn't really do what I wanted. Okay, so this is a little bit of a problem, is that my sphere is one object right now, and I don't want the sphere and the tire to be a single object at this point in time. So it's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I gotta delete some stuff. Let's go X faces. No. Why did I delete you? I don't know how I keep deleting that face. Oh, because you're not... Okay, real annoying, but we're gonna do that part again. Okay, let's go. So we're gonna do our, oh, before I even do that, let me shift space command R, get those loop cuts that I couldn't get in before. Let's see, if I go right click, shade smooth, not too shabby. Could actually probably stamp the subdivide because it's a little lumpy, but I guess this is like low poly. We're being cute about it, right? Okay. Shift S, cursor to selected, puts it right in the middle. What if just for it to look like a real wheel, I should give it like an inside part, right? That makes sense? Yeah. Guess it does. Okay. Look at it. Straight on. Give it another loop cut that's about as far as that innermost one. Cool. Don't want those ones on the inside. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. Straight on like that. And then we'll go to the other side. Shift. Got all this stuff, and I should be able to extrude along normals, I think. Yeah, beautiful. Cool, and then I think I want to add a bevel. That's pretty good. I like that. So I'll color that inside part like, I don't know, a metal-ish color, like a chrome, and then we'll do like a black around the outside. It's like a big wheel. Okay. Now, back in object mode, I can deselect that, then Shift A, add my sphere. Oh, I added an icososphere. Mesh. UV sphere. Oh, and it saved how big it was. Isn't that perfect? A little off center though. Did I move this? Seems fine. Kinda. How do you know? Okay. Yeah, great. I'm into it. I guess if we're gonna make this into like a game, we could. Yeah, thanks, Mod. It is, I think, very sci-fi. I don't know what kind of game this is gonna be yet, but we're just gonna make a bunch of different kinds of robots. We've got an hour and a half in. We've got 2 robots. Ooh. Shouldn't yawn. I've got to drive to Philadelphia tonight. And then New York from there in the morning. I think Philly's going to be like 8 hours. And then New York's another... Ithaca, New York is another 6 from there. So that's where I'm headed. I don't know if everybody, my many watchers are traveling for the weekend, but... So let's go to you, or shade you smooth, which seems fine. Like a pale green. It's a little Christmassy with it. I like pink. Like a hot pink. Yeah. Oh no, that's tire color. We gotta go our metal. Should really label my layers, but you know, whatever. Then I wish I'd been smarter about this, but then it's my constant headache. Okay. Gotta get this tire. Woof. Okay. All of them. Folks, don't be like me. Handle your workflow better. Not too bad. Folks, all of this work can be avoided if you just plan ahead. Just please do me this one favor and plan ahead when you're making your own robot colony. Whew, okay, great. Selected all of the outer parts of the tire. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Again with the planning. The first material that you hit on a given object is going to cover the whole object, so you should not bother painstakingly selecting every little bit for that first material. Okay, that's a little better. Do that on the other side. You just gotta go right up the middle. Beautiful. Wasn't that easy? We can add a blank grease pencil object. Go into draw mode. Draw on the surface. Nope. Oh, grease pencil, why do you confuse me so? Okay, it's my offset. A little too little. Is that 0.5 maybe? Cool, okay. I'm gonna use the grease pencil and I can try to maybe give this little character some character. Let's see. Go in here. Maybe just our pen. I want to know. Drawing on the surface, stroke. Outline, so we'll go with a dark gray. Call this outlines. Still a pink pen. That is too close to the surface. Surface with the offset a little more. 1.6. Yeah, that's fine, but it's gotta be thicker than that. Strength to 1, radius 60. Kind of. Seems not. There we go. Cool. Okay. Object move, keep it invisible for a minute. Back to draw. This guy's just like constantly a little panicked, maybe. Turn down our offset a little bit though. Cool, that's fun. We can go down to this layer, which I'll call color, I guess. I guess I'm not sure how to do fill. Thing I want to do is go into, we're going to go into sculpt mode and just adjust these lines. That all a little smoothed out. Go in with our fill brush. Let's see if this works. Fill needs active material. No grease pencils. Maybe I can. Go back to the outlines and maybe I have to do it from there. Tool needs active material. Not sure what that means, fill tool. Maybe that has something to do with it. Fill. Oop, nope. Oh, we'll just do outlines for now. We'll go back over to add a grease pencil object to you. Add a new layer. And we'll go into draw. Turn this down to black. This kind of one eye bigger than the other thing. Oh, the offset is way too high. Look at that. Not even close to his face. Okay. Nice. Back to you. Thought I gave you more layers. What happened to those? I don't know, man. There you go. There's a couple robot characters. I know it's a little early, but I think I'm going to start wrapping up for the day. I've got a really long drive I'm a little anxious about, but I'm having fun with these little dudes. So like, oh yeah, with the natural lighting, that looks good. So yeah, tune back in. I guess I'm not sure what our streaming schedule is going to be exactly over the over the break between semesters, if we're doing it next week and everything. But definitely, yeah, I think they're maybe just they're scared of whatever game we're gonna make. I think it makes them kind of nervous. They're gonna race. I feel like it'd be fun if it was like a puzzle or racing game and like they exploded a lot or something. Like it was a. I don't know. I like where this is going. I think this has potential. We're gonna keep playing with this. But yeah, come by the VR lab. And we're going to be closed. Obviously, Thanksgiving. We have limited hours on Wednesday, but we are still, I think, going to be open over the break between semesters. Oh man, it does look like Kirby. So yeah, come by. I'm probably going to be there working on this stuff or other similar stuff. We've got all sorts of really cool VR equipment. We'd love to have you. We love to help out with whatever you're making in whatever way we can. So, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and watching me make these weird robot buddies. Weird Robot Buddies is the name of the game that we're building. And yeah, we'll see you, I think, next Tuesday. So, yeah, thanks again, and have a good night.